There is a sense of foreboding in Rafah as the Israeli military announced the evacuation of 100,000 people in the eastern part of the city. Israel asked Rafah residents to move out before it acts with extreme force. After months of warning of a ground operation in Rafah, Israel insists the evacuation is part of their plans to dismantle Hamas. But it also appears to be the final nail on the coffin for about 1.4 million people sheltering there. Since Israel declared war in response to Hamas's deadly attack on the 7th of October, Prime Minister Netanyahu announced that one of his central goals is to destroy the Islamic group's military capabilities. Israel says Rafah is Hamas's last major stronghold in the Gaza Strip after operations elsewhere dismantled 18 battalions of the group. But even after 7 months of war, Hamas appears to have regrouped in some areas, like in northern Gaza, which was the first target of the offensive. Israel says an offensive is necessary to eliminate Hamas and to free the remaining hostages held captive since the October 7th attack. Earlier this year, Israel freed 2 hostages from Rafah in an operation that killed scores of Palestinians. There have also been almost daily airstrikes on the city in recent weeks, indicating increased pressure by the military on Rafah. Aid groups have already warned that a Rafah operation will be nothing short of catastrophic. About 1.4 million Palestinians are crammed into the town. Most of them fled their homes elsewhere in the Gaza Strip to escape Israel's onslaught and now face another move or the danger of bearing the brunt of a new assault. They live in densely packed tent camps, overflowing UN shelters, or crowded apartments and are dependent on international aid for food. The United States, which is Israel's closest ally, has repeatedly urged not to carry out the invasion, saying Israel does not have a credible plan to protect civilians. Threats of an invasion have been a tool that Israel has used in negotiations with Hamas for a temporary ceasefire to release hostages. Hamas and mediator Qatar have warned that an invasion of Rafah could derail the talks. But Netanyahu said his military will move on to the town with or without a deal. Having said that, Israel will have to tread carefully. Its military will somehow have to thread the needle between not doing so much damage that it inflames international outrage or further strains its crucial relationship with the US. They also have to ensure that Israeli hostages don't end up getting killed in the operation, but at the same time not go in so softly that Hamas is not routed and the Israeli soldiers are at risk. Egypt, which is a strategic partner of Israel, has said that a military seizure of the Gaza-Egypt border or any move to push Palestinians into Egypt will threaten its 4-decade-old peace agreement with Israel. Israel has to also keep in mind the broader effort to normalize relations with Saudi Arabia in the hopes of realigning the balance in the Middle East.